Hello film fans, and welcome to my look at the X-Men films. Just to let you know, there will be spoilers, so, you've been warned if you haven't seen any of these yet. But I'm sure you have. Anyway, 1999's X-Men. It was lauded as a film that kick-started the current golden age of comic book movies that we have at the moment. Although, some people say Blade, some say X-Men, it doesn't really matter, because they're both great films. Anyway, in part 1, we're introduced to Xavier's School for the Gifted through the eyes of Wolverine, and he's clearly the main character, but not the alpha male he's shown to be in the later films. If I have any criticism of the first movie, it's that there's very few X-Men actually in it. We start out with 4 really: Professor X, Cyclops, Storm, and Marvel Girl, who's just called Jean. We finish with 5, 6 if you include Rogue. I don't personally. I think she and Iceman, I have to say is played brilliantly by John Ashmore, though they're not really members of the team until part 2. The reason that X-Men is my favourite of the 4 is that it's really what the comics were about. People working together as a team to overcome obstacles that no single superhero could do alone. It also had the most screen time of any of these films of Scott Summers, who's my favourite character, played by the franchise best actor, in my opinion, James Marsden. He's the best example of the whole your power is also your curse thing, and definitely has the coolest power. I think the character's ability to take charge of the situation was his ultimate undoing, as the writers sought to make Wolverine the leader, so they shelved Cyclops. The second film, which is often regarded as the best, kinda irked me, because it's not so much an X-Men film, it's a Wolverine film, or at least you can see the start of the trend, with the other X-Men really as his glorified sidekicks. And this is a trend that continues in part 3. I will say that I did thoroughly enjoy part 2, but not as much as the first. All the actors fit very well into their roles, with the exception of Halle Berry, who I think is just awful, especially in the first, where she's made out of wood, and in the third, where she overacts at the drop of a hat. Wolverine, The Last Stand. Oh boy. It's not that this is a bad film, it's certainly not as bad as people are making out. Just, it should have been so much more. The whole thing felt rushed. You get the feeling watching it that part 3 was just steamrolled through post in order to beat Superman Returns to cinema, which it turned out they didn't have bothered doing. Watching it, I got the sense that a lot of this one got left on the cutting room floor. My biggest dislike being the early death of Cyclops, and the climax being that Wolverine loves Crazy Jean but is forced to kill her. I'm sorry, but wouldn't that scene have been so much more emotional if it was Scott, her bloody husband, who had to take her life in the end? Anyway, the main storyline of 3 is the mutant cure, and what it represents for all Homo superior, with the emphasis that it's a bad thing. Storm and Rogue take opposing views on this, with Aurora saying that they don't need a cure. That's well and good for you, brother bitch, but if I couldn't touch someone without the danger of killing them, I'd take the damn cure. I will give The Last Stand kudos for finally having the 6 original X-Men, with the great introduction of Beast, wonderfully portrayed by a favourite of mine, Kelsey Grammer, and Angel, who was rather pointless, and really only there for the sake of it, though you barely tell he was in it, he had so little screen time. X-Men Origins, Wolverine. It finally shelves everyone else and focuses on how awesome Logan is, without really showing us why he's awesome. I mean, yay, he has claws, he stabs, woohoo. It's a film that's really disjointed, unintelligent, and, well, it's piddle piss poor. It's got great action, but it's got a shit plot. Although the acting from Jackman and Schreiber has been lauded, it does go somewhat to making up for this. Well, until that miserable excuse for a Gambit shows up. I went to cinema to see this with a friend. He referred to Gambit as gay wizard. That's probably the best review I've heard of it so far. Screw it, I'm done. Honestly, who the hell thought up the idea of an adamantium bullet? Really, who? Yeah, I'm not even going to talk about this film anymore. On the Transformer meter, the X-Men saga gets an average of a C. That's really generous. Like, watch 1, it's great. Watch 2, it's very good. I mean, you'll give 3 a go, but Origins is really one for the fans. And that's it.